What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Happy Friday. So I want to talk a little bit about this Holman rule. And the reason that I want to talk about this is because this could be a situation where we see the House move forward to cut programs. And so that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Okay, so I've talked about this before. And people go back and forth, and they say, well, no, the new House, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to cut Social Security. They're not going to cut Medicare. But they have an opportunity to do that, and we're going to talk about how they could potentially do this. Now, the silver lining in all this is that Democrats are still controlling the Senate. And so what that would mean is just because Republicans control the House doesn't mean that they can get what they want. They can try, but it still has to get through the Senate. But if the House uses this as leverage, they could still get some of the programs cut. And so let's talk about this. Okay, so first we need to define what the Holman rule is. So let's go ahead and take a look at a definition here. The Holman rule is a rule in the United States House of Representatives that allows amendments to appropriations legislation that would reduce the salary of or fire specific federal employees or cut a specific program. Okay, so that is what the Holman rule is. So how does this impact Social Security, or how could it impact Social Security or Medicare? Well, simply put, the House of Representatives can make cuts to these different programs, Social Security and Medicare. All they need to do is either cut the workforce, and we talked about this before. I talked about this a couple months ago when we started finding out that customer service when it came to Social Security was really bad, and people were waiting to get their claims heard for 6 months to a year. And so if they make little cuts to Social Security, little cuts to Medicare, as a whole, it will affect a lot of people. And so, and this is another way to look at the program and say it's not working. If you start making slight cuts, then a couple years down the road, you look at it, you say, well, it's not working. It's not benefiting the people like it should be benefiting the people. Let's do away with it. And so basically just put it in a state where it can't function and it will just implode. And so that could be a strategy that we see in the future. And that's why we really need to pay attention to what these politicians are doing. Right now, we're watching the House floor, and we're trying to see who this next speaker is going to be. We still have all these Congress people. They're still Congress elects. They have not been sworn in yet. And so they can't even start doing their job when it comes to the House. And that's how sad things are right now. And so when we're looking at what could potentially happen, this Holman rule, which the Holman rule is now back into play. It wasn't in play for the last 2 years because the Democrats eliminated it, but it is back in play now. So now you have these Congress people in the House. They're going to have an opportunity to make cuts. And we already know they want to target the FBI. We already know they want to target Homeland Security. So will they move even further? Will they move into Social Security? Will they move into Medicare? And I'm not telling you guys this to scare you. I'm just telling you this is the powers that the House has. And we need to know what powers they have, because when they start making those cuts, we need to know that they're doing that in order to get in front of it and say, hey, look, this is not appropriate. But if we don't pay attention and we just allow them to do these little things, then before you know it, the program is done. The programs, it will implode, and then we'll be looking at a situation where it's like, okay, well, how do we fix it? Well, let's just privatize it, or let's do this, or let's do that. And so that is the real danger here. And so I just wanted to bring this to your attention. This Holman rule is something that is very, very important for us to focus on, because this could mean that Social Security gets cuts. This could mean that Medicare gets cuts. This could mean that some of the other agencies gets cuts as well. Now, the silver lining on this, like I said, the silver lining is that Democrats are still controlling the Senate. So we do have split government. So if the Republicans want to move forward with these cuts in the House, it probably won't go anywhere in the Senate. But they could use that as leverage. And like I'm saying, when it comes to leverage, they can say, okay, they can threaten to make these cuts and then use that as leverage to get something else that they want. But the dangerous part is, if they want to use this as leverage, they could start rolling back some of the things, the benefits, the negotiating prescription medication and things like that. They can roll those things back and use that as leverage in order to get different things that they want, or just use that to roll back some of the things that they've already approved. And last month, I talked about the $14.1 billion that will be going to the Social Security Administration. They could say, you know what, we want to roll that back. We don't want all that funding going to the Social Security Administration. And so we could see things like that. And so this is really a time for us to really be focused and pay attention. Like I said, I talked about the House Speaker thing and how that's been chaotic. And you see there are just a few Republicans that are holding out, and they're creating all this chaos. Well, we could still see in the future a lot of chaos because of just a few Republicans that are holding out. We watched Senator Manchin for the last 2 years hold out on certain bills and not allow them to move forward. We can now see in the House, we can see a few Republicans do the same thing. And so this is going to be really a crucial time. In the next 2 years, we're really going to have to focus on what the House is doing, because we can see some real negative consequences when it comes to what they call the entitlement programs. Are they going to try to touch the entitlement programs? We're going to have to see if that happens. But I want to know what you guys think about all this, so let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.